Thank you, Lord. Oh, thank you, Lord. Oh, thank you, Lord. I just want to thank you, Lord. Oh, praise thy name. Oh, praise thy name. Oh, praise thy name. I just want to praise your name. You have been so good. You have been so good. You have been so good. I just want to thank you, Lord. Luke chapter 17. Luke chapter 17. Starting with verse number 11. And you have to signify by saying amen. Luke chapter 17. The gospel according to Luke chapter 17. If I had to sing any more of that song, it would be, You Have Kept My Mind. And if I had to sing another verse, it would simply be, You've made a way out of no way. The gospel according to Luke chapter 17, starting with verse number 11, says, And it came to pass as he went to Jerusalem that he passed through the midst of Samaria and Galilee. And as he entered into a certain village, there met him 10 men that were lepers, which stood afar off. And they lifted up their voices and said, Jesus, Master, have mercy on us. And when he saw them, he said unto them, Go show yourselves unto the priests. And it came to pass that as they went, they were cleansed. And one, somebody said, and one. And one of them, when he saw that he was healed, turned back and went with a loud voice, glorify God. We'll pause there for a second and give you our subject for this afternoon. The subject is simply entitled, Lord, I've got to tell you thank you. Lord, I've got to tell you thank you. We live in a time now where people have so little, or as the old folks say, manners. We show so little gratitude, and we go about things and we accept and receive the things that God does for us, and we think of them to be menial or small, as of no real value. But I just need to tell the Lord thank you. When I consider all the things he could have allowed to happen to me, I gotta say, Lord, I thank you. When I think that I could have died before I came out of my mother's body, but he allowed me to see life for 50 years, Lord, I thank you. When I was living in ways that were not pleasing to him, when I did things that would have caused me to die, he covered me with grace and said, Lord, I thank you. The Bible said there were 10 men who had the same diseases. They were outcasts because of leprosy. And whenever they went anywhere in public, they would have to make a cry, unclean, unclean. And everybody would have to separate, and they would have to stay away from anybody. And as the story tells you, that leprosy was such a disease that people were afraid of, because people would be walking through the streets and limbs would fall off and fingers would fall off. And they had such a stench because of the ability, they couldn't wash and everything else because of the type of skin disease and all the other things that cause deterioration of the bones and everything else. And here are 10 men that has this disease, and the Bible doesn't tell you how long they had it, but the Bible said that as Jesus was passing through, that they cried unto him and said, Lord, Master. We know what the law say. We know what the Levitical principles are. We know that we're supposed to let you know that we're unclean, but we're going to lay that aside just to say and acknowledge that we know that you are Lord. We know that you are able to do exceedingly abundantly more than we can ask or think. So Lord, we just want to say, heal us. Y'all help me. And Jesus does something that was so apropos for the time in which he knew that people were so connected to their traditions and their customs. He said, go see the priest. Now, when you read that and you don't know the history, you would try to figure out, why did he say see the preacher? And somebody would make it spiritual and say he told them to go see the preacher. But no, that's not what he did. He told them to go see the priest because only the priest had the ability to tell you whether you were clean or not of leprosy. Y'all are going to hear me. And the Bible says that when he tells them to go see the priest, and while they were going, they realized they were healed. Oh, y'all ain't hearing me. He didn't have to lay his hands on them. He didn't have to speak the word. He just needed to tell them, if you got faith to believe that I've done what you've asked me to do, go do what you need to do. Go see the priest and testify of what has y'all been helping me. That's why the Bible said, let the redeemed of the Lord say so. What am I going to say? First of all, I'm going to say, Lord, I've got to say thank you. Because I know if it had not been for the Lord on my side, I would have been consumed. I would have died in my sin. But God, even when I have sickness in my body, I can still say thank you. Because you were wounded for my transgression. The chastisement of our peace is upon you, and with your stripes we were healed. I may not feel good in the body, but tell somebody, I know I'm healed. I have the evidence of all the infirmities, but tell somebody, I know I'm healed. Somebody said, how can you be healed if you got the evidence of sickness? Tell somebody, this earthly house is just temporary, because I got a building not made by the hands of men. Tell somebody else, in that great day, I shall exchange the corruptible body for incorruption. Lord, I've got to tell you thank you. We get so caught up with life, with issues, even church, we forget to talk about faith. I'm driving around. I'm thinking about the things that God has done for me. Yesterday, even getting lost for 40 minutes in the country, the Lord brought back to my remembrance directions to a place that the GPS couldn't even take me to. And then later in the evening, while I was going somewhere, I ran over some metal and blew out 2 of my tires in the car. And I had exactly an hour to get the car from where it was to someplace to get some tires. Y'all ain't hear me. I called 2 emergency roadside assistants, and ain't none of them got to me. Oh, but tell somebody that the Lord made a way out of nowhere. The person who came brought an extra jack. We jacked up the car, left it on 2 jacks, took the tires, got 2 new tires put on right before 8 o'clock. Y'all ain't hearing me. Lord, I have to tell you thank you. Somebody would say, why you got to tell them thank you? Because it didn't happen while I was on a bridge, or it didn't happen while I was stranded in a dark place. Tragedies are commonplace. But as for me, all I can say is thank you, Lord. Y'all didn't hear me. He didn't allow it to happen while I was driving 60 or 70 miles an hour. He allowed it to happen when I was pulling into another place. And when the tires went flat, I was in a parking space. Y'all didn't hear me. Lord, I got to tell you. Bible said 10 of these lepers in Luke chapter 17 got healed. But one of them, considering what had happened, you could be the 9, but I want to be the 1. Because mother, I know if it had not been, y'all ain't gonna hear me. I know that if it wasn't the Lord keeping my mind, y'all ain't hearing me. If it wasn't the Lord making ways out of no ways. Y'all look what the Bible says, verse number 15. He says, and one of them, when he saw that he was healed, turned back. The other 9 kept on their way. They might have been thinking about getting home to the family. Some of them have been thinking about getting back to their normal lives and all those other things. But the Bible said one, when he saw that he was healed, he had to see something. And when he saw that he was healed, the Bible says he turned back. And with a loud voice, glorified God. Y'all ain't saying anything. God keep healing you. He keeps making ways out of no ways. He keeps diseases at bay. He works things out, and we come with our mouths closed. He protects us while we slumber and sleep. Y'all ain't hearing me. Bullets are flying through people's houses and hitting them when they sleep, and all these other things happening, but he protected you. And you come here with a mouth closed. You come here with your hands down. But I got to say, Lord, I got to say thank you. You don't have to praise him, but I don't want no rocks crying out to me because I thank him. Y'all ain't helping me. I thank him. I praise him. I glorify him. Y'all ain't gonna help me here. And the Bible says, and fell down on his face at his feet, giving him thanks. Y'all gonna see this. And he was a Samaritan. The man wasn't even a Jew. He was considered a dog. He was considered beneath those who were chosen. But even the ones that you count out, even the ones that you don't think are worthy of anything, they're the ones that will remember where God brought them from. They'll remember how everybody turned their noses up. They'll remember how everybody turned their backs. But they'll say, Lord, I know that you didn't have to do what you did. Because you did what you did, I gotta praise you. I gotta glorify you. I gotta bow down and say, you are God. You are Lord. And for that, I praise you. Verse 17 says, of Luke 17. And Jesus answering and said, were there not 10 cleansed? But where are the 9? Did God not fill you with the Holy Ghost? Did God not help you? Did God not keep you for already 7 months? Y'all ain't gonna help me. You got 4 months left in this year, and we'll be into a new year. If that ain't enough to praise God for, yeah, you've gone through some turbulence and you've had some situations, but tell somebody I've gone through. Oh, y'all ain't saying it. Y'all ain't saying it. Tell somebody I've been through. I've been through. And because you got through, you ought to praise him. You ought to give him a thank you. They are not found that return to give glory to God, save this stranger. And he said unto him, arise and go thy way. Thy faith hath made thee WHOLE whole, complete, restored. Your faith. Whose? Your faith. Now let me tell you what faith is. Faith is more than just believing or the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith also calls you to say thank you. Yes. Because you believe that he would do it. Yes. Y'all ain't hearing me. When you know who's working it out for you, don't forget to tell them thank you. And I tell you all the time, I don't care if it comes through people. Don't be so connected or so full of gratitude towards personalities you forget God. Because if I give you anything, the resource comes from God. If I do anything for you, the resource comes from. Oh, y'all are going to help me here. That's why you ought to thank him. Y'all ain't going to hear me. Let's go quickly. John chapter 11. The Gospel of John chapter 11. Verses 1 through 4. The Gospel according to John. St. John chapter 11. Starting at verse 1. When you're there, say amen. Amen. If you need more time, say wait. The Gospel according to John chapter 11. Verse 1. You're almost there and you catch up. John chapter 11, verse 1. I'll read nice and loud and clear. You can hear me. Now a certain man was sick named Lazarus of Bethany, the town of Mary and her sister Martha. It was that Mary which anointed the Lord with ointment and wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Lazarus was sick. Let me go back and read that for you. It was that Mary which anointed the Lord with ointment and wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Lazarus was sick. Verse 3. Therefore his sisters sent unto him, saying, Lord, behold, he whom thou lovest is sick. And when Jesus heard that, he said, this sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God might be glorified. Go to John chapter 12. Just the next page over or so, John chapter 12. Starting with verse 1 says, then Jesus, 6 days before Passover, came to Bethany, where Lazarus was, which had been dead, whom he raised from the dead. There they made him a supper, and Martha served. But Lazarus was one of them that sat at the table. Where? Dead men don't eat. Look at verse number 3. Then took Mary a pound of ointment of spikenard, very costly, and anointed the feet of Jesus and wiped his feet with her hair. And the house was filled with the odor of anointment. It says ointment, but I said anointment. Because the ointment or the odor represents praise. See, what you got to understand, verse 11 tells you what Mary was going to do before she did it. Why did Mary take the costly box that she had and began to wash his feet with a costly perfume and then began to dry his feet with her hair? Because she said, Lord, I got to tell you thank you. Y'all ain't hearing me. Well, why am I telling you thank you? Because when our brother Lazarus was sick and you didn't get to him, but we put him in the grave, and 4 days later you showed up and you told us and we believed that our brother would rise again. And here we are sitting at the table at the meal that we prepared. And not only are you sitting here, Jesus, but our brother Lazarus, who you raised, who was dead, sit at the table and help me. And I just got to tell you, Lord. I'm telling you, ain't nothing. Mary said, ain't nothing too good for you, Jesus. Yes, Lord. The costly ointment of my perfume isn't too good for you. She said, the glory that you gave me, which is my hair, is not too good for you. So I take my glory, my hair, and I dry your feet just to say, Lord. Lord, I thank you. Lord, I thank you. Lord, I thank you. Lord, I thank you. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. You ever start feeling down about your situation? You start remembering what he done for you. Start thanking him. Stop saying, you ever go to your refrigerator and you don't have what you want to eat? Remember the time you didn't have nothing to eat and God brought you through. And you look at that peanut butter and that bread and you say, may not be a flaming God, but I eat the slice of bread and peanut butter, a belly full. It's a belly full. And you got to say, Lord, let me take you back to the book. I'm trying to finish. Go to Luke chapter 8. Luke chapter 8, starting in verse 1. I just want to read 3 verses for you. And it reads, and it came to pass afterward that he went throughout every city and village preaching and showing the glad tidings of the kingdom of God. And the 12 were with him, and certain women which had been healed of evil spirits and infirmities. Mary called Magdalene, out of whom 7 devils. Now hold on. He had the 12 disciples who he was teaching and instructing them in the ways in which they were to establish the apostles' pattern of worship and seeking God. But he also had a trail of women who followed him, that ministered to them, that made certain that they ate and had things that they needed. But the Bible singled out one woman. And out of this woman, the Bible said she was healed of evil spirits and infirmities, and she had 7 devils. Amen. Well, let me tell you who that Mary was. That's the same Mary whose brother was called Lazarus. That's the same Mary who took her box of alabaster and put it on his feet and dried it with the hair. She remembered that when nobody could help me, when I was sinking deep in sin, far from the peaceful shore, she remembered that when she called upon the name of the Lord, he answered her and delivered her from 7 devils. Look what the Bible says. A certain woman which had been healed, verse 2 of Luke 8, of evil spirits and infirmities, Mary called Magdalene, out of whom went 7 devils. And Joanna, the wife of Chusa, Herod's steward, and Susanna, and many others which ministered unto him of their substance. Don't tell me you got faith and you thank God and you keep your substance for yourself. Part of your gratitude to God is, Lord, whatever I need to do for the kingdom, amen, I will do just the same thing. Amen. 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 My final conclusion, you don't have to turn there, but in the book of Mark chapter 16, the Bible tells us of the day that the same Mary Magdalene, who was so heartbroken when Jesus was crucified, she came to the sepulchre to prepare him to put spices and other things on his body while he was in Joseph's tomb. And the Bible says when she got there, that she couldn't find the body. Now I want y'all to understand something. This woman was so full of gratitude, she didn't stop seeking after God even after he died. She was coming to the tomb. And when she gets there on the day that he is risen, she gets a word. Why seek ye the living amongst the dead? Saints, stop looking for God in dead places. He is risen. He's risen. Well, what is he doing? He's sitting on the right hand of the throne of God, making intercession for the saints. He's telling God, he's helping me. He's telling the Father, give them more time. I died for that sin. I got him covered with my blood. God is helping me. And when I think of the fact that he died to take away my sins, and now he's sitting on the right hand of the throne of God, making intercession, I gotta say, Lord, Mary comes. When she gets there, she said, tell me, where have you taken my Lord? Where have you taken him? Where is he? She gets the message. Go tell Peter and the others. He is risen. Yeah. He's risen. Well, I gotta tell you, I thank you. Thank you. Because you could have stayed in the grave, but you got up. And because you got up, we get up. Y'all ain't hearing me. Because you got up, I got hope. Because you got victory over death, I don't have to fear death no more. Because the grave don't have the victory. Death don't have a sting. Because you took away my sin. The sting of sin is the sting of death is sin. And you took my sin away. And now I'm free. Oh, Lord, I thank you. Y'all ain't there yet. I don't think somebody remember what he done for you. Lord! Only 2 people got it. I don't think he he's done nothing for the rest of you. And if he's done anything, you ought to say, Lord, I've got to tell you, thank you. Yes, Lord. Lord, I thank you. You gotta praise him. You gotta praise him. You gotta praise him. You gotta give him the glory to his name. Yes, you should. It ain't everything you want it to be. But honey, it's not as bad as it could have been. Y'all didn't hear me. The fact that he stepped in to your situation. The fact that he made a way out of no way in your situation. The fact that he didn't let you lose your mind. You ought to praise him. You ought to give him glory in spite of the diagnosis. You ought to give him glory in spite of the evidence of what's going on in my body. I still got to praise him. I still got to give him glory because this is the day that the Lord has made. I shall rejoice and be glad in it. Oh, magnify the Lord with me and come let us exalt. Amen together. Lord, I just got to tell you thank you. I don't want no rocks crying out for me. You've done it for me. Amen. Hallelujah. I'm not going to be like the other 9. I'm going to be the one. I'm finished. But I want you to know, don't you ever stop giving God thanks. I know you say he hadn't done it all yet. You ought to thank him for what he's already done. He said, but I'm still waiting. You ought to thank him for grace to wait. Y'all ain't hearing me. You could have given up, but you still holding on. That's why you ought to thank Lord. Thank him for enough strength just for one more day. We're always going after the big picture. And we miss the small things that God is doing for us. I got to just stop to say thank you. Y'all ain't going to hear me now. The manifestation of every day. Sometimes so hard. But when the night comes and I wake up in the morning, that day is over. That's why I got to say, Lord, you brought me through another day. And we get stuck in what we've been through and who did it to us and why. And I'm changing that in the way I think. And I said, Lord, you didn't even let them stop me. You didn't even allow them to kill me. You didn't even allow what happened to cause me to lose my mind. And because of that, I can still say thank you. Lord, I got to say thank you. Thank you. He sees what you've been through. He knows the pain that you bear. But he wants you to just acknowledge that even what you've been through, it couldn't destroy you. Amen. 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 Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes. Say it with me. Tragedies are commonplace. All kinds of diseases. People are slipping away. The economy's down. Can't get enough pay. As for me, all I can say is thank you, Lord, for all you've done for me. Yeah. It could have been me. No food outdoors. Just another number with a tragic end. But you didn't let none of these things be. So I want to say thank you, Lord, for all you've done for me. Hey, you say thank you, 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 thank you. I want to say thank you, Lord, for all you've done for me. God, in the name of Jesus Christ. God, we thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercy. Thank you for being our shield and our buckler. Thank you for being our present help in the time of trouble. And God, as we stand in your presence, we confess our sins. We confess our shortfalls. We confess those things that are contrary to your will and to your way. God, we ask that you would cleanse us of all unrighteousness. God, make us servants ready to do that which you called us to. God, we say thank you for knowing that we have an advocate with the Father. And God, we can call upon your name and receive help in you. We thank you, God. We thank you, God. In Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. You may be seated.